Okay, so welcome to another topic video announcement. This particular video is going to focus on grades, not just how do I navigate my grades, but for this particular course, how does my instructor communicate grades? Where's the information? How do I make sure? Because grades are a big portion. Well, grades are the portion of your final grade in this class, but also when I grade certain things, specifically writing assignments, there's a lot of feedback there in various ways, in various types of format. And I want to make sure that you're taking in as much of that feedback so that you can either continue doing what you're doing if you got some good points or good feedback, or modify, adjust as you move forward with future ones. Now, again, as I've said before, I'm going to flip in between different classes, whether it's 200 or 210, all these are going to be the same. You might have different information here if you're in my 200, okay, but you get the gist, okay, because the format's going to be the same. So the first thing I want to talk about with grades is that the way my grades is set up, not all instructors are this way, okay, this is specific to this class. I am a very organized, meticulous type of person. And so you've probably already noticed that everything is kind of minimized. Granted, my instructions are very wordy and I have a lot of information in my instructions, but as far as the navigation of the course, it's pretty simplistic. Everything is in course content. You should go nowhere else to complete your assignments. Everything is in course content. It's in your one content folder for that week or that 2-week period. But often many of you go through my grades. Depending upon your instructor, it's going to look a little different. For my courses, I have my grades set up in chronological order of when they are due. I don't do due dates on the actual assignments themselves. Some instructors do, and those due dates would be down in here. You aren't seeing any of those because I don't want you to be using my grades for your schedule. I want you to be using the syllabus schedule because they are the dates are attached to the actual modules, content folders. They're attached to that. And when that folder closes, that folder closes. You can't access assignments through my grades. You can preview an assignment if you've already submitted it, but you can't complete an assignment. You see how you can't click on any of this stuff? You can't complete an assignment regardless of when the due date is. So you should all be going through course content. So, but it's all in chronological order. So if you, let's say, for example, you didn't complete the work-based learning, okay, that was in the first module, and you're like, okay, I know that I'm working on this chapter 1 stuff, or I'm working on the chapter 3 and 4 stuff, that's where that is, then you're going to know that all this stuff up here has already passed due. And late work's not accepted, but I'll talk about that in another video. So if you got, let's say, a 0 for this one, then that's telling you, a 0 is telling you you didn't complete it. Sometimes students will get a 0 because they didn't submit something. They submitted something, but it was for a different assignment. So there will be feedback right here for that. But if it's a 0, and then you click on the 0, it's gonna pop open like, oh, okay, I didn't submit anything, because it will take you to that assignment. If you submitted something, it will take you to what you submitted. If you didn't submit something, then it will take you to the area that will show you didn't submit something. So you can always click on the grade itself. So this is for 200. Okay. Now this is just giving you an example of if I posted averages, which I don't, but that's just giving you an example in case you needed that in other classes. So it's in chronological order. When you go into an assignment, so let's do this. Let's go into an area that has a writing assignment, and there's going to be 2 different tools for writing assignment. It's either going to be a discussion board or it's going to be an assignment. And I'll show you different ways in which how that unfolds for you. But here we go into one, and this one is an assignment tool, and I'll show you another way to find out if it's an assignment versus a discussion board. Typically, discussion boards are going to have a part 2 that says, hey, or a part B that says you need to reply to classmates. And it's going to be pretty obvious. It's going to say create thread or create post. Okay, y'all have been through the Blackboard orientation, so you know the difference between these two. But how does that affect your grade part in my grades? So make sure you're reading the instructions. It will specify whether or not you need to upload a document that you've created or whether you need to copy paste. That is very, very important because some assignments you have to upload a file because it's checking safe assign, okay, which is for plagiarism. It's checking that. And then also it is the way it previews, it will preview the way you actually created it in Word or PDF. So make sure for you Mac users that you're saving your files, or if you have a different word processing software than Word, Microsoft Word, you have to make sure you click the Save As when you've created it and you go to Save As option, and you will select either Word or PDF because all the other formats I can view. Okay, so if it's .pages for Mac users, if it's .odt, when in doubt, you could always do, for those of you who are a little bit more comfortable, you could always do .rtf because that's pretty much user-friendly across the board, that type of thing. But I specify the two most common ones that most people are familiar with, most students are familiar with. Okay, so make sure, so you go to submit it, and then you submit. Most students don't do a save draft because with assignments, they're not writing anything in the submission area. They're just uploading something. So they submit it. And once you click the submit button, what will happen is it will literally preview for you. It will show you in the box what you just uploaded. And that's where you can make sure, okay, it uploaded what I needed it to upload. It might take a little time to process the saved assignment results. You can always come back to it. That's where the My Grades are. So if you have a yellow exclamation point, then that's going to give you a pretty good idea of what you've got going on there. Just curious to see what that was. Okay, so if you have a yellow exclamation point, you can actually click on the yellow exclamation point and it will take you to that particular assignment so you can confirm, yes, I did submit it. Here's the other thing. If it says assignment, that means it's going to be you upload a file. If it says discussion, that's a writing assignment, then you know it's going to be a discussion board. Okay. And then we've got rubrics. Rubrics are very important because all future writing assignments, whether it's an assignment or a discussion board, will have a rubric. And what you can do is you can view the rubric in advance. You can either view it from within here, or you can view it from, whoops, the grading area, which I suggest view it in advance because it's gonna that is what you're being graded on, and this way you know what are the specific hits. So we can see here that proofing your work, and I can't emphasize that enough. Grammar check, grammar check, grammar check. Not only are you getting points hit on that, but one of the main things about college is that you're getting better and better and better at writing. Okay, this isn't a social media avenue. This isn't a texting avenue. We got a code switch. This is a formal, professional type of way in which we communicate. So get Grammarly. It's free. It works with word processing. It works with your browser. It works with your Outlook. Get it because it will help you tremendously. Read it out loud. Also, that's the other thing that I do. Proof your work before you submit it. Okay, you took the time to do the work, take a few extra minutes and proof that work so that your messages are coming across crystal clear and that you've hit all of the assignment requirements. That's very important. And then when the grade comes in, and I've graded it, you'll see your points over here, but you would view the rubric here and it will have the points. And then often I might make little comments within here of what got hit. Specifically, I may write some comments down here. I may do a grading feedback video for you, and you're like, yes. Okay. So yes. So that's it for the whole grades piece there. All right. and then go on to the next topic video, and hopefully that will cover some additional material that you haven't really been exposed to before.